Welcome to Chem series. In my previous video, we have already seen rate and factors affecting rate of the reaction and solved related problems. So here in part 2 chemical kinetics, the rate law and order of the reaction will be discussed. First about rate law. A rate law gives the relationship between the rate of the reaction and the concentration of the reactants. That is, for instance, take this reaction 2A plus 3B, it gives product. As per rate law, the rate of the reaction is always proportional to the concentration of the reactants. Then what are the X and Y? X and Y are the exponents of the concentration of the reactant A and B respectively. Okay. And these exponents are the partial orders of the reaction for A and B. And the overall order is the sum of the exponents. So about order of the reaction, we will discuss it in our later slides. So the rate law is always proportional to the concentration of the reactants. And the rate law is experimentally determined and can be used to predict the relationship between the rate of the reaction and the concentration of the reactants. Okay, let's write rate law for this reaction. That is 2NO2, it gives 2NO plus O2. So as per rate law, the rate of the reaction is directly proportional to the concentration of the reactant, that is NO2 power N. And this exponent N need not be equal to the stoichiometric coefficient. Okay? And rate is equal to K into concentration of NO2 power N. What is K? It is the proportionality constant, or it is also known as the rate constant. And N is the order of the reaction. Okay. And N can have the values from 0 and fractional values are also possible. In this slide, let's learn what is order of the reaction. The order represents the number of species whose concentration directly affects the rate of the reaction. That is, for example, if you take this reaction, it is N moles of A and M moles of B reacts to form C moles of C plus D moles of D. Here you see, not all N moles of A and M moles of B will affect the rate of the reaction. Only few N and M will affect the rate of the reaction. How many number of N that affects the rate of the reaction will be your X, and how many M that affects the rate of the reaction will be your Y. Okay. So this X and Y are the partial orders of your reactant A and B respectively. And if you add this both X plus Y, that will be your overall order of the reaction. So the order of the reaction can be obtained by adding all the exponents of the concentration terms in the rate expression. Okay. And the order of the reaction does not depend on the stoichiometric coefficients corresponding to each species in the balanced reaction, because the stoichiometric coefficients can be of any number, but not those all number that affects the rate of the reaction. Only few numbers of stoichiometric coefficient will affect the rate of the reaction, and that will be your order X and Y. Okay. And the order of a chemical reaction is always defined with the help of reactant concentration and not with the product concentration, because only reactant concentration will affect the rate of the reaction. The values of the order of a reaction can be in the form of an integer or a fraction or even 0. Okay. Reactions may be classified according to the order of the reaction, namely zero order reaction, first order reaction, second order reaction, third order reaction and higher order reactions, pseudo order reaction and complex reactions. So coming to zero order reaction. Zero order reaction shows that none of the concentration of the reactants affects the rate of the reaction, because when we write the rate law for this, rate is equal to K concentration of the reactant power 0, right? That means none of the concentration of the reactant affects the rate of the reaction. So the rate is proportional to the zeroth power of the concentration of the reactants. The rate is independent of the reactant concentration. Is that right? Because concentration of the reactant power 0. That means it is independent of the reactant concentration. And these are the few examples of zero order reactions. So let's see this reaction. A, it gives product. When we write rate law for this, rate is equal to K reactant concentration power X. Okay. And X will be 0 because it is a zero order reaction. And how do we write rate for this reaction? Rate is equal to minus dA by dt, right? We have already seen this. That is equal to K reactant concentration power 0. So anything power 0 will become 1, right? So minus dA by dt, that is equal to K. When we cross multiply this, it becomes dA is equal to minus sign over that side. So minus K dt. And on integrating this on both sides, we get A, the concentration of the A, that is equal to minus Kt plus C. And what is your C? C is the integration constant. Okay. So this is your final equation that is obtained in the before derivation. Okay. Now take this reaction. A, it gives product. For this reaction only this equation is being obtained. At time 0, the reactant A, in the initial concentration of the reactant A is A0. At that time the product will be 0, right? Because none of the reactant will be converted to product. So at time 0, the initial concentration of the reactant is A0. When we substitute this A0 and time 0 in this equation, we get A0, that is equal to minus K for time 0 plus C. So you take this equation to be your first equation. And this term will get nullified, right? Because anything into 0 will be 0. So your integration constant C will be initial concentration of the reactant, that is A0. So consider this equation to be your second equation. Okay. So now substitute your second equation in first equation and you get A, concentration of A, that is equal to minus Kt plus concentration of A0. Okay. So this is your final derivation, final equation of the zero order reaction. So from this, the K rate constant can be calculated, or if they given the initial concentration to you and they have asked you to calculate the concentration of A at time 10 seconds or 1 hour, then you can calculate the concentration of your reactant also. So this equation you have to remember. So in this slide we will study half-life of a zero order reaction. That is, half-life of a reaction is the time required to decrease the amount of a given reactant by 1/2, and it is denoted by T12. Okay. So this is the final equation that has been obtained in our last derivation, right? In this, substitute time to be T12, half-life, because we are calculating half-life for the zero order reaction. So T should be substituted by T12, and your reactant concentration should become 50% of the initial concentration, that is half of the initial concentration. So concentration of A becomes A0 by 2. Now substitute these two in this equation. What do you get? A0 by 2, that is equal to minus K T12 plus A0. So from this we can calculate T12, right? If we rearrange this, you get K T12, that is equal to A0 minus A0 by 2. A0 minus A0 by 2 will become A0 by 2. So K T12 is equal to A0 by 2 and T12 is equal to A0 by 2K. So this is your half-life formula for zero order reaction. So, rate of the zero order reaction is independent of initial concentration. That is, you see here rate is equal to K concentration of A power 0, right? That is, it is independent of the initial concentration. What is independent? The rate. And the half-life of the zero order reaction depends on the initial concentration of the reactant. You see T half is equal to A naught by 2K, right? So these are the two notes you have to remember. So before going into graph of zero order reaction, you need to know this general graph procedure so that it would be easy for you to plot not only for this but any graph if the values are given. Okay, so the first is y is equal to mx. Here we have y-axis and x-axis and we have a slope, that is m. So draw a straight line from origin and draw a slope, that is m. So y is equal to mx. For this graph will be like this. And y is equal to mx plus c. We have an intercept here. So what we have to do is draw a straight line leaving some of the space in the y-axis so that will be your intercept. Okay. Y-axis and x-axis, and this will be your slope and c will be your intercept. And if we have a negative slope, then the straight line should be like this. Okay, so this is your negative slope and the intercept will be c, and this is your x-axis and this is your y-axis. So y is equal to c minus mx. If it is y square is equal to 21x, then draw a parabola on your x-axis. And if it is x square is equal to 21y, then draw a parabola on your y-axis. And this is the general graph format. So from this it will be easy to plot any graph like zero order reaction. We are going to plot it in your next slide. Now let us draw the graph of zero order reaction. This is the equation we obtained for zero order reaction, right? So let us now rearrange this equation in the form of A is equal to A naught minus KT. Now you see whether this graph format suits this equation, y is equal to mx. No, right? We have another term, that is A naught. Then coming to y is equal to mx plus c, is this match for this equation? No, because we have a negative sign, right? So coming to y is equal to c minus mx, yes, it is right, because the concentration of A will be your y-axis and the initial concentration will be the intercept and K will be your negative slope minus K. Okay, and for time it is in the x-axis. So this is the graph format of y is equal to c minus mx. Y-axis, there is the concentration of A, and initial concentration of A will be the intercept, and rate constant is the slope, and on x-axis we have time. So this is the graph for zero order reaction. So these are the formulas of zero order reaction. Okay, that is rate is equal to minus dA by dt, that is equal to K, A concentration of A power 0, right? And this is the T half formula, and this is the equation we obtained by a derivation, and from this the rate constant can also be calculated, and this is the graph format of zero order reaction. And if you come to the unit section, the rate constant, that is we have concentration divided by time, right? Concentration unit is mole per liter divided by time, that is second. So mole per liter into second is the unit for rate constant, and for T half the unit is second. These are the formulas of first order. So please don't memorize it because they are obtained from very easy derivations, right? So it will be difficult if you forget any formula at any time. So just go by the derivation. And many problems will be discussed related to this video. Okay, thanks for watching the video. If you like it, then subscribe, like and share.